This is Urinetown. What rest you here at Urinetown?
I've known the show for a couple of years, and I remember seeing their performance on the Tony Awards when they did Run Freedom Run. I just thought it was the absolute coolest thing. And also, there was no part in the show that was really my type, so I wanted to try and explore outside my type. So I thought it would be a good way to start.
Okay, cool.
I actually did it 6 or 7 years ago, and it was really fun. And I like that everyone has so much to do in it, and it's not just a show with a couple of leads and a chorus. Everybody's really involved, and I also think it's a show for theater people. There's so many references, Les Mis, the Fiddler, and it's just all over the place, and it's just a lot of fun to do and to be in.
Okay, great.
I thought it was really great. I really didn't know many people. I knew Sarah, our choreographer. I did a show with her a couple years ago, but I really walked in not knowing anybody, but I thought everyone was very welcoming. Everyone was very friendly. I was immediately at ease. And that's what I like walking into an audition. You don't want to be all nervous to audition for a show and then be nervous around the people you're auditioning for. And I thought everybody was very friendly and very open.
I also thought it was really organized, which I appreciate very much, because that again takes away some of the nerves.
Exactly.
Right.
You knew what the expectations were and how much time you had in between things. Everybody had their number, and it took a lot of the stress out of the process.
Yeah, I remember when they gave everybody the cold reads, and it's like, okay, this paper is for you, and this paper is for you, and you're going at this time. It was so easy. I think Cameron is really great. Especially there's so many parts in this. Everyone's in singing 4-part harmony or 5, 6, whatever it is. And that's something I struggle with, is singing in parts with everybody, because I'm somebody who I like to be loud and be heard. But I think he goes over everything explicitly in detail until you get it right. And I think he makes it very clear and easy to learn the music. Especially because I didn't really know much of the music before I got cast. I was like, oh, I know 2 songs will be fine. But he makes learning the songs very easy.
He also gave us tracks really early on to practice with, which was a big help, especially because there's dialogue and there are places in the music where there's a pause in the actual singing, so it was helpful to have the tracks to practice with. Another thing about Cameron is that he also, even though he's doing everything in detail, making sure everybody knows their parts, he's also really laid back about it, so no one's worried that they're going to mess up, or we feel free to have fun with it and to learn.
Great.
I think just every song's completely different there's no song that's the same. I think there's 2 repeats of a song in the show, but besides that, everything's completely different style and tempo and everything. It's just really diverse.
Yeah, I agree. I love that everything has its own sort of flavor, and that, again, like I said, with the show in general, that there are a bunch of theater references in it, and even just little melodic references that you can hear. And again, that everybody gets to take a big part in the songs.
Great. Director.
Oh, I think Michael is absolutely great. He walks in, he knows what he wants out of the scene. He obviously gives you a lot of freedom to just do what you want, but he knows what he wants out of that scene. And some directors aren't very clear with what they want, or they don't give you acting guidance. And I think he gives it to you, but also gives the freedom to explore your character on your own.
He's also made it really fun. So we're doing things differently each time we do something new. There's each time we do a scene, we're doing it a different way, and it also seems like he's enjoying it. He's cracking up in the background while we're doing stuff. And I've been telling everyone I know that he's just probably the most organized director I've ever worked for.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, I loved having the schedule right away, the scene breakdown right away, costume plot. Everything's all there for us, so we don't have to worry about it. We know he's got it, in his head. And again, so when we show up at rehearsal, we're just ready to do the show.
My character is just kind of all over the place. She's very precocious, and I've never played a child. Even when I was a child, I was tall. And then once I got older, I was cast as more loose women or the mean girl. And this is just completely a complete 180 from every part I've ever played in my life. And I just think she's really funny, and she's really the brains of the whole operation. She knows everything before everyone else does.
My character, there's not really much written about it except that she's pregnant and like crazy. So that leaves a lot of freedom to make something up. So that's one of my favorite things to do, is to make up in my own mind, and maybe I never tell anybody, but I make up my character. So that's been a lot of fun to try to figure out how to keep it consistent throughout the show, how to decide on the character and take it and carry it through the show.
Okay, cool. Now,
I think I have no inhibitions doing really anything on stage. People ask me to do it, and I kind of do it. So I kind of just go for it. So I think that's what I bring to it, and I think especially with a show like this, you have to just go 150%, and then they'll bring you back if you need to. I tend to be very over the top, and like I've been pulled back a couple times, like the character voice I do, but I think I just kind of like go for it and give it as much as I can, and then let them direct me from there.
I guess yours is tough, right?
Yeah, mine's tough, because again, I'm just making most of it up, except for being pregnant. So what I decided is to give myself some backstory and try to figure out who the father of the baby is, which I'm still working on. I've ruled out a couple of people based on other familial relationships that I've decided on. So yeah, and I'm excited to figure out what I'm going to keep doing with it. I think I've decided that she is super into whatever she is doing. So if that means like a crazy dance, then the dance is happening. If that means like, that everyone's sad and, sort of sad about Bobby and all that stuff, then I'm going to be super sad. So that's, it's still a process, but I'm working on it.
I think everything in the show is just going to kind of take them by surprise, because a lot of people, theater people are very familiar with it, but a lot of, my family has no idea what the show is about. I told my boyfriend, it's Urinetown. He's like, you're in what show? So I think people are going to be surprised at just what they see. I think everyone hears the title and it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to see that. That sounds really weird, but I think everyone's going to have a great time. They're just going to be surprised at what they see.
And I think even people that know Urinetown are going to see a different Urinetown this time around. There are some things that are like the iconic moments of Urinetown, and we're doing some of them, but we're doing a lot of them differently. And so even fans of Urinetown who have seen the show a bunch of times are going to see something completely new.
Come see me, Rachel Smith, playing Little Sally.
And me, Alexandra Haas, playing Little Becky Two Shoes.
In Maple Shade Arts Council production of
Urinetown the Musical.
Opening July 10th.